The Lord fights for us. Be strong and courageous.
People of Israel, gather close. The Lord of all creation has gone before us. This city, with its towering gates and ancient strength, stands only by His permission, and by His will it will open. Prepare yourselves.
Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified, for the Lord your God goes with you wherever you go.
The ark of God will lead our steps. Priests, lift it upon your shoulders. You who bear the horns, stand at the front. Let the sound of your trumpets remind us that it is God who guides our path. Warriors, fall into ranks, not to strike, but to witness. Today, our victory is obedience, and our weapon is trust.
Today, our victory is obedience. Our weapon is trust.
At the edge of dawn, we moved. The air was cool, the desert quiet. Jericho rose before us. Its walls still, its watchmen uncertain.
The fire is warm tonight. We are grateful for this rest.
We walked the circuit of the city, our sandals pressing patterns into the dust. No voices were raised, no threat was spoken. Only the solemn call of the horns rolled across the stones. When the march was complete, we turned back toward the camp. Each heart waiting for whatever God would do next. The next morning, the same, and the next. For 6 days, our path never changed. And though our steps repeated themselves, faith grew with every circle. We were learning that sometimes the greatest miracles begin with quiet persistence. Inside the city, the people watched. Their confidence slipped away like sand through fingers, for they saw an army that needed no weapons and a God who needed no permission. On the 7th day, the sky shifted. The light seemed sharper. The air carried a trembling expectation. We rose before sunrise. We lifted the ark. We positioned the priests. And once more, we drew near to Jericho. But this time, our march did not end after one circuit. We continued twice, 3 times, until the 7th circle was complete. The horns cried out in one long, unwavering blast, a sound that seemed to pull the heavens close. And then I gave the command, "Lift your voices, let your shout rise to God." And the people answered with a cry that carried every hope, every promise, every ounce of faith. What followed was the work of God alone. The city that had stood for ages yielded to his power. Jericho came into our hands that day, not because Israel was strong, but because God proved that he is faithful.
The walls have fallen. We must flee the city to the center, quickly.
And in the midst of all that happened, we remembered Rahab, the woman who sheltered our messengers. She and her family were brought safely among us, a living example of grace given to the humble. From that moment on, the name of the Lord was honored throughout the land. And Israel walked forward, not as conquerors of stone walls, but as witnesses of his might. For what fell that day was not merely a city, but every doubt that God keeps his word.